he on?
He is.
He is. Okay. All right, if you'd rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you could all please stay standing.
Yes.
This last few weeks, Beecher 200U lost a fantastic member of our team and our family. Mr. Sean Daly passed away. He was a great teacher. He was a great person. He made all of us better, and he will be greatly missed. So if I could have a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
All right, roll call. Paul, are you on?
Yeah.
Juan?
Yes.
Liz?
Yes.
And Julie? I think I heard her earlier.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all board members are present. And I need a motion to approve the board and committee minutes, the Transportation Committee meeting minutes of December 14th, 2020, tax levy hearing meetings or minutes of December 14th, 2020, regular meeting minutes of December 14th, 2020, Transportation Negotiation Committee meeting minutes of December 15th, 2020, the special board meeting minutes of December 17th, 2020, Transportation Negotiations Committee meeting minutes of December 22nd, 2020, the special board meeting minutes of January 6th, 2020, and the Policy Committee meeting minutes of January 7th, 2021.
You said 2020 for minutes of January 6th. You meant 2021.
2021, yes. Thank you.
So moved.
Oh, wait, can I amend that? I think we need to edit the transportation meeting minutes of December 15th. I believe there were other attendees from the Teamsters there. I don't think that was captured. So can we move to accept those with that amendment? I don't think there's any substantial edits there. It's just a matter of capturing the attendees and the discussion we had to cancel that meeting at that time or adjourn.
Okay. Then I'll accept your...
So with that amendment?
I'll accept your amendment to delay the Transportation Negotiations Committee meeting minutes of December 15th, 2020 until next meeting. Is that what you wish?
That, or if the board's okay with, we can edit to capture that and accept that tonight.
Do we know?
Again, there's no substantial or any vote changes
so you
that are
add the
impacted.
additional?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I will do that. Thank you.
And
Okay, that way we'll get that approved. Thank you.
okay, and you you moved, and I need a second for the amended.
Just a second.
Okay, all in, or Marla.
Roll call. Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Mazurk,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion for approval of the executive session minutes, the regular meeting executive session minutes of December 14th, 2020, the special board executive session meeting minutes of December 17th, 2020, the Transportation Negotiations Committee executive session meeting minutes of December 22nd, 2020, The special board meeting executive session minutes of January 6th, 2021.
Ducius, so moved.
Second, Weisel.
Okay, roll call. Ducius,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Weisel.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Need a motion to approve, to keep the executive minutes, the following executive minutes closed. The Personnel Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of January 6, 2020. The Regular Board Executive Session Minutes of January 13th, 2020. The Special Board Executive Session Meeting Minutes of February 6, 2020. The Regular Meeting Executive Session Minutes of February 10th, 2020. The Personnel Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of February 13th, 2020. The Personnel Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of February 18th, 2020. The Personnel Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of March 3rd, 2020. The Regular Meeting Executive Session Meeting Minutes of March 9th, 2020. The Special Board Executive Session Meeting Minutes of May 19th, 2020. The Special Board Executive Session Meeting Minutes of May 22nd, 2020. The Transportation Negotiation Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of June 4th, 2020. The Regular Meeting Executive Session Meeting Minutes of June 8th, 2020. The Transportation Negotiation Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of June 11th, 2020. The Transportation Negotiation Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of June 18th, 2020. And the Transportation Negotiation Committee Executive Session Meeting Minutes of June 25th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Weisel,
Yes.
Ducius.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the destruction of the recorded meetings of the regular meeting executive session minutes of December 10th, 2018, the regular meeting executive session of January 14th, 2019, the regular meeting executive session of February 11th, 2019, the regular meeting executive session of March 11th, 2019, the regular meeting executive session of April 8th, 2019, the regular meeting executive session of May 13th, 2019, the regular meeting executive session of June 10th, 2019, the Negotiations Committee executive session meeting of June 19th, 2019, and the regular meeting executive session of July 8th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Pappas,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Weisel,
Yes.
Ducius,
Yes.
and Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we move to the January 2021 expenses. Are there any questions? You were given a couple, I think 4 additional bills in the email.
I recalled 3 in the last list. Is that
Yes, that's
correct,
correct.
Marla?
Three
There was
in-
3, yes.
3 in the last,
Yeah,
there was
okay.
one previous to that for
There
computers?
was 1, and then she added 2 to that, so.
Oh, you
was
added
actually
it on to
total
there.
of 3,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's 3 total.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It might be a crazy question, just the John LLC.
I'm
Is
sorry?
it water? Water? That's just a, it's a, let me pop it up here.
Yeah.
Todd James.
What's that?
Oh,
You're asking about Todd James
Yeah.
Water Systems
Yeah.
rental?
that's the filtering system that they have in the teacher's lounge here at the high school.
I just saw the LLC.
I think it's at the elementary as well.
If there are no questions, I need a motion to approve the January 2021 expenses as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Mazurk,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
and Pappas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. And Mike, are you on?
I am.
All right, you are on.
Excuse me. All right, the balance in the Supernow account on December 31st was $887,913.35. We had outstanding checks of $26,965.36. There were outstanding payroll adjustments of $57,8048, leaving the adjusted bank balance at $855,167.51. Lunch program balance was $6,099.23. Impressed fund was $5,000, leaving the total balance at $866,266.74. The investment balances at month end were $12,291,915.75, leaving the balance of all funds as of
Whoops,
Oops.
we lost you, Mike. You're there?
He's connected, so you just give him a minute.
balance.
Oops.
Okay,
Education fund balance was $5,379,986.15. Did I just cut out right there?
you cut out back at,
We lost you
we lost you at,
before total funds.
Okay, the total of all balances was $13,158,182.49.
okay,
Receipts were $532,546.28. Expenses were $1,068,409.70. Education fund balance $5,379,986.15. Oh, you still there?
yep, we're here.
Okay, good. I think it's on my end. It's a little unstable, I think. Building fund, $2,752,919.99. Bond and interest, negative $12,038.26. Transportation fund, $1,720,915.80. IMRF, $176,237.07. Working cash, $2,512,927.44. Tort fund, $158,349.48. And life safety, $468,836.17. We earned interest in December of $582.48. We had several distributions from the state. State aid, $170,848. ESSER grants, $66,109. State free lunch, $99, and we received federal lunch program money of $15,611.39. We had the 10th real estate distribution for 2020 at $260,946.35. The rest of the fund balances are in the packet. I also included a graph. I know there was a question last time, just on going back 4 years on what the total property tax distributions were that we had received. This is calendar year, not our fiscal year. So there is some crossover between the years, of course. But you can see in 2020, we received $10.78 million, which was 3% higher than 2019. Any other questions?
Nice job with the graph, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Mike? Need a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Goldberg,
Yeah.
Herman,
Yes.
Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
and Mazurk.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, Mr. Palmisano.
Just real quick, is Mr. Game on the line? He is.
I'm sure he is.
Okay. Just want to first say congratulations, Mr. Cox, Mr. Gam, and Mr. Meyer in your respective new positions coming up. Just real quick, I had an idea for coming forward on the contract. I noticed that it said in the notes, the
idea of August 1st as the start date for Mr. Meyer, and that's something I think that's been,
Oh,
didn't it say that? Yeah, that's something that has been in there for years. We've had like more like 11-month administrators. Wanted to say, perhaps maybe we should consider them being 12-month administrators. You wouldn't need to change the number of days that they work, maybe add more vacation days in there. I just know with Mr. Gayam coming in, not having his staff with him for that first month could be an issue. July is a very hiring intensive time. And so I know in the past when I've been around, there'd be these little arguments trying to get the administrators in their Julie month off, still coming in for interviews and then owing them days and keeping track of all that. There was some tension with the principal a couple of years ago who was taking a vacation that he was allowed to take in a month that he was off, but it also caused complications trying to do all the hiring in July. So I guess it was just sort of an idea as you're considering the contracts or even going forward to perhaps making them 12-month employees but granting them extra vacation days. You shouldn't need to adjust the salary that way if they're still working the same number of days. That's all.
okay. Thank you, Ed. Anyone else, anyone on the line with the public comment?
No one right now has their hands raised, so
Okay.
nobody at this time.
Thank you. We'll close public comment. All right. We'll move to old business.
Staff reports.
Staff, oh, I'm sorry, skip right over them. We going to do it online or have them step in?
Mr. Meyer, are you online?
I am online.
There we go. Have
All
at
right.
it.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. You've got my written report in front of you. Just a couple things I want to say. Number one, I'm just glad and say thank you that we were able to have kids today. It's very nice to see their faces. It's very nice to see them in general. And then with that, we left November 12th was the last day we updated our list. We had 110 remote kids. Back today, we only had 95 remote kids. So we gained 15 kids in person. So hopefully that's a trend to come because I think that's great for everybody. I just wanted to point that out. So hopefully it stays the same. No, I just want to say thank you for allowing us to have kids back.
Could I just ask you, have you had any comments from parents?
About being in person?
Yes.
Not today, no. Nothing out of no.
Glad to get rid of them. Okay.
No, it's been mostly, I mean, no, I haven't really had any major issues at all.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Meyer?
Mr. Meyer, how many per classroom are you looking at then with 95, well, 105? 100.
We had 95 remote, so it depends. One of my big classes, like with Mr. Thomas, has quite a few, but then I also got a class of 6. So it varies greatly. But I can give you averages next month if you want.
I was just curious how people were able to socially distance and that type of thing, the students.
In some classes, absolutely. In some others, we have a few more, but I don't think we have a class more than 20, maybe 18. But when we first saw this morning when they came in, I seriously thought we were going to have a ton more remote. And by the end of the day, when we added it all up, we actually had more kids in person. It just did not seem like that this morning.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gayam, are you on the line?
Yes, sir.
You're on.
Well, same as Mr. Meyer. However, my week has obviously been a little bit different than his. So I first have to admit that Mr. Muro, Mrs. Rojas, Mr. Starsny, and Dr. Hoffman have been more than any school deserves with the support they've shown to both my staff and me personally and to the students today. So we got back in, we met with every one of the classes first period to talk to them about, obviously about Mr. Daly, and then each class of Mr. Daly's met in the den today to kind of talk about the situation, let them know there's some avenues, and reach out for any assistance or help they need. So that's kind of what our day looked like today. Mr. Meyer is a far better administrator of Leroy, so I don't have numbers of remote versus in person, but we were similar numbers as him.
Hey, could you bring me a paper towel?
If I had a paper towel, I'd bring it to you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have it muted on my microphone. I'm so sorry. I've been coughing and everything in the background. I am so sorry.
Okay.
I thought that on my remote, for my headphones, it's muted. I'm so sorry.
All good on my end. So yeah, that's obviously the big news from the high school. This week, Mr. Sarson and I are going to be reaching out to his sister, and we are going to be delivering the cards, the collections, the GoFundMe, everything we have to the family this week. So that's the plan.
And it sounds like you have somebody to take over for the rest of for the whole semester then?
Yeah, Rebecca Martin-Berry is going to start tomorrow, and she'll be here the rest of the year. She does have a history background.
And Jack, it's Pappas. I'm not going to yell at my husband right now. Thank you very much, though, for taking our kids. I know what a tough situation this is, and I feel that your position is so important in these times to make sure that they have emotionally what they need. And I know that's also right on Rojas and Sarsony. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Ms. Pappas. I just try to think what Nicole Black would do, and I try my best to do that.
All right.
Mr. Game, is there any consideration for giving extra help to try to, for the AP test?
Yeah, so we have Mr. Jacobs, who has a history background, Mr. LaBanca, Mr. Ogden. So we're looking at avenues to possibly add additional assistance to those 9 students. But it's also something I would like to discuss further as time goes on about that test. Again, it's only been a week, so there's a lot to try to wrap your head around. And right now, the important thing to me was their emotional undertaking. We'll get to the classroom portion of it very soon, I promise.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for all you've done.
Anna, I don't know if you're the one to answer it, but any update on these truancies?
So, yes and no. So what happens is the state, I'm sorry, Will County Sheriff's Department is kind of the one that has to take the reins once we've established 3 letters. So I believe in my report I said I'm up to 4 repeats. So one or two of those is going to get another letter here within the next few weeks. And then it's Mr. Beck works with, and I can't remember her name, I apologize, at Will County, and the problem is the problem is because it's COVID and it's remote learning, they really aren't putting a high priority, a high value on truancy. And so again, it's just us making home visits, us making phone calls, us doing a lot of trying.
I just ask you guys, when you do make contact with these families, you guys are trying to figure out what the thing is before trying to issue them to court, correct?
Correct, and that's why we give them 2 different warnings before we even consider the courts. The first, a lot of the times, like I said, out of the 19, out of the 26, only 4 repeat. Oftentimes, what happens is they call in and say, "Hey, what's this letter about?" We explain to them, and it normally fixes itself in that matter. It's just, you know, we got 4, so what is that, 16% of people who just can't be reached by a phone call or a home visit. They need a little extra help.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Gam? All right, thank you. Mr. Cox.
Yeah, one quick note was mentioned earlier, just so everybody understands, not all of our administrators have the exact same dates in their contracts, but in all of our administrative contracts, they are 12-month contracts. And so they take their vacation time out of there. So for example, if an administrator has a contract that starts August 1st, that contract runs through July 31st. So they are available to pitch in and help move things forward and put out fires whenever needed. Also, wanted to let you know that later this week, I hope to have the RFP out for our health insurance broker. So to be able to, sometime in the next 3 to 4 weeks, have some information and some firms available for interview by either committees or the board, depending on however you would choose to handle that. And also, just to let everybody know, we are in the process of applying for our the second part of our Federal CARES Act money as we work through this pandemic. The first allotment was a little over $100,000. The second allotment is going to be about $350,000.
Can you explain what the CARES Act money can be used for? Because some people may.
That's a great. So the CARES Act money is in general to be used for student welfare. We use the first part of our money to help pay for some hardware costs because it's affiliated with the obviously with the pandemic, for hotspots, for PPE, for a lot of different things to deal with the pandemic itself. Most of those costs we've actually covered, and so we'll have to look into exactly how we can spend this next $350,000. I'm not for sure if you can get asbestos removal with it, but probably not. But we'll figure out a way to make sure that it's used well.
Thank you.
When would you anticipate that, then? You haven't seen that yet?
No, and we have not received the timeline as of yet from the state who facilitates that grant program.
So it comes from the feds, but it's funneled through the state.
Correct.
Any other questions for Mr. Cox? Mrs. Black, you're up. Or she's in the other room. Is she on the phone also?
No, I'm here.
Ah, okay, there you are.
A couple minutes to get to the unmute there. Yeah, again, it was great to have kids back in school today. After announcements this morning, I heard kindergartners singing songs, so it was a wonderful, fabulous sound. Does anyone have any questions on my report?
Just no more a point of order. Are there sign-ins in those off rooms? Are they people sign in so you know who's attending? Or no?
There is nobody in the room.
Okay, it just might be something to put in there if it will continue. I think there might be some changes in litigation coming up from what I read.
Thank you, Ms. Black.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mrs. Black? Okay.
I had a general question kind of on the facilities reports and the principal report out. Can we share some of that information more in the board packet that's available publicly?
I'm not following you, from what?
From the reports that are provided by the building principals?
Though they are on the website, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I didn't look this month, but I know that I've looked in the past and had questions about them being public, so they should be then available publicly for the monthly materials?
They are, every month.
Okay.
There's a section that says current board packet, so it always has
Right.
the current board packet, which includes the administrative reports, the principals.
Reports, okay.
Yep, sure does.
And I'm getting nods.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
getting nods that it is on there this month.
Yeah, we just looked at it today.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Larry.
All right. Moving on to old business. Mr. Cox, you want to address the reopening plan?
Yeah, as you all know, it was fantastic to have so many children on campus today. It was a wonderful day for us. We did make one small change to our plan. In the past, we had asked students to elect by the week whether or not they were going to be on campus or not, and that attendance piece was really starting to bog us down, as we do have that only that 3.5 hours on campus. Time becomes even more valuable, and so we've asked all of our students to elect by the month now. We've had a handful of students who have, for lack of a better term, played a game of, I'm here one day, I'm not here the next. And so to put an end to that should streamline a lot of the attendance issues and get back a couple precious minutes for our staff. Outside of that, last Friday, we sent out a series of reminders. Hey, we're coming back in person. Remember, self-certified, make sure your kids are feeling good. Hey, a reminder, if you have somebody in your family who's gone for a COVID test, keep everybody home until you know the results of the COVID test. Just the more, reminders and conversations that we can have to make sure that, we haven't been doing this for 2 months. We need to get back in the swing of things. We need to be self-certifying. We need to be going above and beyond to make sure that we're keeping the on-campus environment safe.
Any questions for Mr. Cox?
Sure. Regarding those safety measures, what are the directions or requirements around exposure? Can you clarify that? If potentially somebody has been exposed or been notified that they've been a close contact, what is the procedure there?
Yeah, so those are all done on a case-by-case basis in conjunction with the Will County Health Department. Those are all coordinated directly and specifically by our school nurses. And so because there are a lot of, there's a lot of health and student information that goes along with all of that investigation and that process, it's one that the administration very rarely it becomes a part of, because it is confidential information, so the nurses handle that process.
Right. So if someone has been exposed, what is the directive, or are they waiting from a decision from the nurse to, off of the Will County Health Department to then stay home or come to school?
So our nurses will work through with, be it student or staff, to determine not only infectivity but also close contacts, and then develop a timeline off of that individual case, and then develop timelines for a possible return for both the infected individual and the close contacts as the variables allow for that particular instance.
And if I could interject, this is Pappas, now that I have COVID, like the schools do one thing, but once like all of this happens, it's really in the IDPH or Will County Department of Health, and they are so proactive. I got 5 calls the first day, and so that's how all the tracing is done. And you basically tell them what it looks like, who's around, and then they decide what has to happen.
That's interesting, because now my daughter had it and nobody called her, nobody contacted her.
Did
So,
she,
that's interesting, but that
did
was,
she test positive?
Yes.
Where at?
Well,
CVS?
with my case,
At
everything
CVS?
was expedited because I'm a teacher. So I don't know if this is normal, but they told me
Right.
that it was expedited because I'm a teacher.
And then I had to stay home from my work, which is a school system. Even if she was, even if her test came back negative, I had to stay home for 14 days. I heard they might change that to 10 days. I don't know if they did.
Yeah, I thought I heard 10 days too.
They've changed it now.
Yeah, that was changed back in the fall.
Mr. Cox, I had a question. Do you know when you're going to consider the kids being in school full day? Is that on the horizon, or what has to happen before that?
So, the current model that we have with the afternoon live stream has become much more effective. We're really in a good spot educationally. I think that we would have to have a vaccine roll out and have our staff vaccinated before we would have conversations about lengthening the day of the in-person instruction.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you elaborate there, Mr. Cox? I'm trying to understand what barriers are there for the amount of time needed for then the full day change in timing there.
So it's a combination of several things. The biggest kind of physical barrier is lunch and how to have that many students rotate through, be able to safely socially distance and be able to eat lunch. And so that's a big part of it. And then of course the other part of it is, as you lengthen the day, you increase the ask for especially smaller kids to be able to stay in a mask, to be able to follow the rules to a high enough degree that you're maintaining that safe environment.
And then back at the beginning of the school year, you had produced a document about the reopening plan. So there's really essentially no other changes except for the timing that you mentioned.
Correct.
Compared to that version?
Correct.
Okay. And then what about any activities remotely? How can, has that been considered? Is that something that might be considered in the future?
Are you referring to student activities?
Correct.
I do know that some remote activities have been discussed, Scholastic Bowl and that kind of thing. As we continue to move through, as we continue to be in this environment, the higher contact, kind of more higher risk activities continue to be off the table. In the fall, we actually had a series of what they are considered the low risk tier, cross country and golf and things like that. And so my assumption would be that as we move into the spring, that those low risk activities will also resume.
Okay, and what about any non-sport activities? Are all those still considered off the table, or are any staff or sponsors interested in potentially engaging in those remotely?
So all of those are constantly under conversation to see if there is something that can be done remotely. I know a lot of the activities that that can't actually meet to have games and such, they're still having a lot of different, student involvement as safely and as effectively as possible.
Okay.
What about like the sports?
Just trying to think of other ways to keep our students engaged, especially the combination of those that are remote and making sure that they have some options as well. So just wasn't aware of any that were continuing remotely, so would ask the team to continue to consider that through the year here. Thank you.
It's really a delicate balance too, because as the kids are on their computers so much, like now, while they may want to do something so it's extracurricular after the thing, that it has to be taken in consideration that they would be on it more. Like in my district, they're doing chess club and the Scholastic Bowl and their reading groups. And the kids are responding to it well and everything, but it's a consideration that needs to be.
Also, you have to consider what the other schools are doing. If there's nothing to, no one to.
I think that's my point is, definitely seeing other schools going back, with full day structures, other activities offered, for the kids. And I understand it may not be everybody's first choice, but again, we all are able to have those different options. So thanks for considering that.
Ron, did you have something?
Yes, I was just wondering how they're going to play. Are they going to play basketball this year and volleyball?
Yep.
They keep IHSA keeps kicking everything down the road. If I had a Ouija board, I would say that those things aren't going to happen.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else for Mr. Cox? Okay. I need a motion to approve the contract for superintendent of schools for Mr. Jack Gayam as has been presented. Do I have any discussion? I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Dusha, second.
Okay, roll call. Hernandez.
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Mazurk.
Yes.
Goldrick.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Weissel.
Yes.
Dushas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the contract for Mike Meyer as the high school principal beginning August 1st, 21 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
That's Pappas.
I would
Pappas.
move that, can we talk more about that in executive? Can I table that to executive?
We can.
Okay. There were some differences I noted between committee and what was presented, so I just wanted to clarify that, and maybe we could vote on it after.
Okay, that'll be tabled till after executive.
Okay, I think we still need a motion to then table it to executive, right?
No, I think we actually do.
We have a first and second to approve on the floor, so if you're
That's
going to
true.
table it, you need a first and second to table it.
Yes. I need a second to table the motion.
I'll table it, I'll second it then.
Who
wants to
motion
discuss it?
to table it?
Liz.
Liz, okay.
Okay, Pappas.
Yes.
Mazurk.
Yes.
Goldrick.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Weissel.
Yes.
Dushas.
Yes.
And Hernandez.
Yes.
Okay, motion to table.
And moving on to new business, Mr. Goldrick, can you give a report on the transportation?
committee?
Other than what, just a contract that we're doing, or I really don't have anything much except I see that we're going to talk about the approval of a new car for driver's ed.
Yes. Do you have any information on that?
Everything was in the
I
packet.
do not. Just what I read in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have. Like 20.
Like 20.
Mr. Gay, I'm trying to reach out to a bunch of other vendors, and nobody really put another bid on, except for Terry's Ford.
You know, and the other
That's
thing.
all I read.
Yep, and the other thing to consider
Oh, I'm sorry,
is
go
that
ahead.
these are state bids.
Thank you, Paul. Go ahead, Mr. Cox.
Yeah, sorry. The other thing to consider is that these are state bids, and so they're already vetted through the bid process. And the vehicle that's being recommended is actually size-wise a little bit larger than the current vehicle that we have.
And is our driver's ed person comfortable with the bigger vehicle?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Gaham?
I showed Mr. Keene the vehicle today, and he was very happy with what was offered by Ford.
There you go. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
And I actually looked online, and it is a good deal for the SE version. SE versions, it's not top of line, but it's also not your basic model. And they pretty much start at about $26,000. So the state bid is a great deal.
Mr. Golder, just so you know, I looked to see if I could find one without automatic windows and have the old school roll up, and they apparently don't make those anymore.
I understand.
All right, thank you, Paul.
Nice.
I need a motion to approve the purchase of a driver's education vehicle, a 2020 Ford EcoSport, for the cost of $21,127 from Terry's Ford of Peatone.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Mazurek?
Yes.
Goldberg?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Weissel?
Yes.
Duchess?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
And Pappas?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, the next item is for the transportation negotiations with local, Teamster Local 777. We did at our last meeting come to an agreement on the last items, and I believe everyone has been provided with copies of those. It was a long process, but I think we finally reached a fair agreement. We have a copy, but it has all of the
I was able to send a copy this afternoon, a clean copy, so.
a clean copy? Oh, I didn't get one. Oh, okay. Okay. The copy we were sent had all of the editing marks in it, but other than that, everything was the same. So I would move to approve the agreement between the Beecher School District 200U and the Local 777 as presented. Do I have a second?
Larry, I would, can I amend that to potentially address some of the pay timing issues? I think we need to clarify that's not spelled out in there, as well as any other grammatical changes and so on. I know that we had some errors, not sure if they made all those changes in the current version that was sent this afternoon. So pending either of those, do not change, I don't think, any other substantive, again, edits that are already in there. So just some final things to work through. So would recommend that the board consider that in addition to what was presented.
All right, so basically what you're saying is that you're amending it just to say that the final version will be cleaned up to what we agreed to.
That, as well as, I just think the timing of pay by the non-district facilities and the timing for those school years to be reflected appropriately. I don't think that edification was potentially thought about or reviewed, so that's kind of a final item. It doesn't change what they're going to be paid, but the timing of it does, because it overlaps what the district schedules are. So we just need to itemize those separately. And I add that clarification. Mr. Cox or Marla, do you want to add any color there?
No, it seems agreeable. I'll accept the amendment, and are you seconding with that amendment?
Yes.
I think Paul did. Paul, did you second that amendment? Oh, he seconded something.
Or I'll propose it. Can I?
All right, you can, all right, I will.
And I need a second.
I will
Yep.
withdraw my motion, and you can make yours.
So I'll make a motion to accept the agreement as presented in the version from January 11th in the afternoon, with the edits of adjusting to clarify the pay timing by the facilities by school year, and then any final grammatical errors that may need to be cleaned up. So with that, those changes, recommend that for approval for the board.
Is that the first motion then?
She made the first motion. I need a second.
Oh, yeah, second that then.
Okay.
And was there another motion on the floor? There
No.
wasn't? I thought Paul,
I withdrew my motion.
but that was only one. You only had one?
There was only one.
Okay.
Okay, so roll call. Goldrick.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Weissel.
Yes.
Duchess.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Ron?
Yes, policy.
Policy.
Tonight was a 3-hour marathon. I just want to say Julie and Carla and me, we read went by line, made sure that everything that was recommended by the IASB was read, so that everybody's aware that we adopted their recommendation. There was a few questions there. Everybody got in their packet, I'm sure. So I just want to say it was everybody worked well there. Marla, I'm sure you had a hard time with those minutes, right? Brad, for your expertise in areas. And I just want to say good job, and send it out for first reading tonight.
Is there a way that, because we have so much more to go, this is 102, and I think we have to go to 106, and it's all going
Right,
again?
we're going to do it as like what Mr. Cox recommended at the last meeting, to putting two of them together. Might be a little marathon, but I guess we'll pack dinner.
No, I mean, is there another way to just sort of read everything? Is there a way we can post it or something like that? That was very tedious and time-consuming.
Well, you got people on the phone though, and stuff like that.
Well,
and
if
it's
you
just-
could put it
it's
with
just-
the agenda or something,
Yeah,
that would be actually read it better, and they would understand it better. It was so hard to, I'm sure it was hard to follow in that manner. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's something you can do, or,
You could be right, but I as the chair, I'm going to continue doing it that way. I like it that way to have it read out, and so that everybody's aware. Okay, I mean, if you have any suggestions, I'm willing to hear them. Just send them, and
well, they said if we could post them with the agenda or something, and then if that's legal, then we don't have to read everything. They would actually have the actual changes.
well, I'm kind of old school, and I like to read it. So.
I like listening to it.
Does,
It did help me understand.
Mr. Cox, do you know if,
Go ahead, Liz.
I was curious if you knew if making that press view public is okay or not, or is that something we need to confirm with legal?
Since since
Or
there's
who can answer that, or is that an IASB question?
There's no reason why that couldn't be made public.
It's the chair's decision to
Yep.
to do it the way I was doing it, and if
That's correct.
so I'm gonna go continue doing it that way. But if they want to still post it, that's fine. I have no problem with that.
We'll do whatever you tell us to do.
I'm gonna continue the way I did it. I know it was a marathon, but I thought it was very informative.
You know what?
And
It got done.
Yes.
I read them all, and yes, that was tedious, but thank you. That was good.
Is there a way that that could be sent to all the board members? When I look back, it was only sent to us 3 before the meeting, so is there a way that can be, I thought that could be I don't know if we need to take that to policy I think we all wanted the information for all of us at all the meetings, and I know, and when I look back at who it was sent to, it was only sent to
Marlo,
Ms. Pappas.
moving forward, any policy, send it out to all board members, please.
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
I need a motion to approve the press update 102 as a first reading per the recommendation of the policy committee.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Herman,
Yes.
Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yep.
motion carried.
Can we just go over the timeline for the rest then? Because if we need a
Yes.
first.
Yep,
and a
that
second.
We want to get it done by March. Everything done by
March,
March. So
by
we
the
got a couple
March
meetings
meeting?
coming up. Yeah,
March 31st.
March 31st.
So we might have to have 2 meetings in March to do that then? Because if we're gonna have a first and a second.
In February?
February. This is
Because
January.
if you
Well,
want
we
it,
could
you
have-
want it done by the March board meeting, is that correct?
Technically, it has to be done by March 31st. So unless we were to have a special meeting or something to just wrap everything up before that date to get all the second readings in.
Right, because, and is that through issue 106?
That's correct.
So we have to do it all by the February meeting then, so everything else has to be done by next meeting.
Well, it has to be done by the March meeting.
But we need 2 approvals unless we have a special meeting.
Right, you need, because the second approval is the one that adopts it into policy, the second reading,
Right.
right? So then you would have to have all the first readings by February so that you could have the second readings by March?
Yes.
So we better schedule them tonight then.
President, as soon as we wrap these up in these next meetings, if we have to have a special board meeting, would you be able to put that on the agenda?
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on to the asbestos removal bid. It came in much lower than we anticipated. So, let me see where I put it.
Hey, Juan, you want to shed some light on that?
Sure. So we had our facilities meeting. We had like 8, I believe it was like 8 different bids that came in. The lowest bid was from the Kinsale Contracting Group for about $109,204. So we had a great turnout for people bidding on the job, so that was good.
Okay.
Are we paying any type of kind of management or oversight in addition to what we had already approved?
Not in addition to what's already been approved.
Okay.
All right, I need a motion to approve the asbestos removal bid for bid in the amount of 109,000. I don't have it here.
204.
204, per the recommendation of the facilities committee.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Missouri,
Oh,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
and Herman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session for discussion of personnel
Employment
employment.
and possible litigation.
And yes, whatever.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Patricia, second.
Hey, Marla,
Yes.
I still have not got feedback from my executive.
From what?
Will he be able to still call in?
To go
Joe?
into executive.
He,
Oh, hang on a minute, Paul.
So was the question that someone needs to be added to the executive session?
no, he accepted the invite, so he should be able to just,
You should be able to call in.
Yes.
okay, so just call in, Paul.
He will
Call
receive
in
the
which number?
personalized, email.
The executive invitation. Did you get that email?
Should we resend that or something?
I did.
Right, and when you were looking at the on the iPad, there's the executive session, there should be a number there.
All right, let me double check again. Unfortunately, Marla, I do not see a phone number I can call into.
Can you text it to him?
Yeah, I can email him a phone number. He's just gonna have a personalized code, but for executive, I think it'll appear as someone else if I give a different code. But
That's fine.
you can make
Okay,
it work.
yeah, do that.
Okay, we're gonna send you an
And Joe,
email. Go ahead.
Joe, I just registered for it. I'm sorry.
We're good.
He says you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Did the
Paul,
other two
watch your
members
email.
have it? Did the other two members have the information correct? Are they able to call in?
Okay, so,
Wait, before we get off, I haven't done this before. So do I need to get one of the invites from Joe then to be a panelist or no?
Each board, when you sign up for the registration, it provides you, it emails you and says, thank you for registering, and it will give you a meeting code and password that's just for you so that the meeting knows who you are when you call in.
Okay,
But I'll
I don't
provide
see a meeting code.
Yeah, me either. Provide a code.
I got the code, but I don't have a password.
He said he got the code, well, I got the
I don't have anything.
password.
Oh, I see the meeting ID 2-1, yeah.
Yeah, but no password, right?
No password.
Yeah, it could just be the meeting ID, and that's how they know who it's for.
So if we're on computer, then I'm sorry, I haven't done this.
Can you just maybe resend
I will
the information to
resend
everybody?
the
That way,
link.
at the same time, that might be helpful as a reminder.
I will send that out.
Thank you.
okay, everybody watch their email, and then we're gonna have a roll call for the motion to go into executive session. Duchess?
Liz, are you still on?
Hernandez?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, Hernandez? Kappas?
Yes.
Yes,
Missouri?
Yes.
Goldrick?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes?
Weissel?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we'll be going into executive session. Watch your email.
okay, I haven't gotten it yet, so I'll text somebody if I have any issues.
I see his fingers moving
Good
now.
I wish I could type that fast.
Yeah. What? I do real good with these. Sometimes I use these.
Are we adjourned?
We are. All right, we have anybody back?
Pappas, Gold.
Juan's here.
I'm here, Larry.
Okay, I got Paul and Juan, Liz,
Julie's there. Julie's here.
Yes, I'm here.
and Julie.
Hi, Julie. Yeah.
Okay,
Rolling.
and we are recording, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, we're back in open session. Back to administrative contracts. I need a motion to approve the administrative contract for Mike Meyer as high school principal beginning August 1st, 2021 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Herman,
Yes.
Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Sorry, yes, I'm sorry. I was using my remote again.
Missouri,
Yes.
and Goldberg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, moving to employment, I need a motion to approve Robert Kane, or is it Coyne? Coyne? Robert Coyne as a full-time driver effective immediately.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Pappas,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
and Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Need a motion to approve Natalie Miller as a 3/5 time teacher aide.
So moved.
Second it.
Second, Bishop.
Second.
Okay, Missouri,
Yes.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
motion carried.
Need a motion to approve personal leave request of, is it Janie?
Janae.
Janae Smith, as presented.
So moved.
Second it.
Okay, Goldberg,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Weissel,
Yes.
Duchess,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. Anything other, Mr. Cox?
Nope.
All right. The next board meeting will be February 8th, 2021. Yes?
I thought we were still motioning on with the contract. I'm sorry.
We did.
We motioned, it was passed.
Wait, I'm sorry. No,
Mr. Myers?
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Myers?
I'm sorry.
It was motioned and passed.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's called COVID brain, Julie. You'll get used to
I
it.
know. I'm sorry, Larry. Thank you for understanding. It's terrible. I don't have much patience for myself with it, so I'm sorry, everyone. I apologize. I am paying attention. I've been up too long. It's been 2 hours.
All right. I need a motion for
Well,
adjournment.
do we have dates then? Because it sounds like we got some meetings coming up. So,
I will work with the chairs to coordinate
Yeah.
those dates. I know that policy and building would need to meet in the next month.
okay, finance, to go, was
Yep.
that where we do the, are you're making that up? I mean, you're putting that together?
No, I still haven't heard anything back from Mr. Cox on the RFP process or draft for that. So, yeah, let's put finance on the agenda to coordinate Mr. Cox, please, as well as an update, kind of with 12/31 and Q2 close for the fiscal year.
And the audit, the auditor?
Correct, yeah, the audit RFP.
Right, and I imagine that would be the committee to go through the healthcare process? That would be the one that we would go through that, or no? RFP, I would think that would be, right, Ms. Duchess?
Correct, but he's submitting the bids. I don't think we have anything back yet, so
Right,
if
right,
it's back
right,
by
so
the
we'll
time we
wait
meet. Yeah, but in terms of timing, that might be tight, is my expectation. So that might be tabled to the next one.
Okay.
Ron, were you gonna set any meetings for policy?
Yeah, I'll send it out to, tomorrow, just so everybody, I'll send it out to Mr. Cox and Marla, let them, get everybody's dates.
Okay,
It sounds like we need
Yep.
two. If we can get two in by the next meeting, I think that would roll this along, correct?
That's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan.
In that case-
Again, I would recommend, in terms of materials sent out for committee meetings, that those go to all board members so that we can continue to share that information.
Policy will be sent out to everybody before the next meeting.
Okay.
I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Jucius.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.